It started subtly, as these things often do. I'd be brushing my teeth, half awake, and catch a flicker in the mirror. My reflection, hen, would move just a fraction of a second after mine. I'd blink, shake my head, and chalk it up to a tired mind playing tricks. It was easy to dismiss for a while, but the delays grew longer, more deliberate. One morning, as I reached for my coffee, the man in the mirror didn't move at all. He just stood there, his eyes fixed on me, a faint, knowing smirk playing on his lips. My heart hammered against my ribs. I dropped the mug, shattering it on the kitchen floor. In the mirror, he didn't even flinch. He just watched me, that smug look never leaving his face. Paranoia became my constant companion. I started avoiding mirrors, turning them to face the wall, covering the bathroom, one with a towel. But you can't escape your own reflection. It's everywhere. In the dark screen of my phone, the side view mirror of my car, a shop window I'd hastily pass on the street. Each time I'd see him. Sometimes he'd just stare, other times he'd be doing something different. One afternoon, I saw him in a puddle and he was laughing, a silent maniacal laugh that sent shivers down my spine. I tried to tell my girlfriend, Sarah. I sat her down, my hands trembling, and tried to explain what was happening. She listened patiently, then gently suggested I might be overworked, stressed. She recommended I see someone, maybe take a little time off. I could see the concern in her eyes, but it was laced with something else, pity. She didn't believe me. How could she? It sounded insane. The man in the mirror was winning. He was isolating me. The true terror began when he started interacting with my world. I'd come home to find things moved. A book I'd left on the coffee table would be back on the shelf. The thermostat would be turned down, even though I distinctly remembered turning it up. Small things. Plausible. Deniability. Was I just becoming forgetful? Was the stress finally getting to me? Just like Sarah said. No, this was him. He was testing his influence, pushing the boundaries between his world and mine. The nights were the worst. I'd lie awake, staring at the ceiling, too afraid to close my eyes. I'd hear faint noises from the bathroom, the creak of the medicine cabinet, the sound of water running for just a second. I knew it was him, exploring my space, getting ready. One evening, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to confront him. I walked into the bathroom, my whole body shaking, and ripped the towel from the mirror. He was there, waiting, but he wasn't just standing still anymore. He was holding my razor. Slowly, deliberately, he drew the blade across his cheek, a thin line of red welling up. I gasped and touched my own face. It was smooth, unmarked, but I felt a phantom sting, a ghostly pain right where he had cut himself. He smiled then, a wide, triumphant grin. He knew he could affect me now. That's when I understood his plan. He wasn't just content to mock me from his glass prison. He wanted out. He wanted my life. I became a prisoner in my own home. I stopped going out, stopped answering calls. I boarded up the windows, but it was useless. Any reflective surface was a portal for him. The polished toaster, a silver spoon, the screen of the television. He was always there, watching, waiting, his expression growing more confident, more alive, while I felt myself fading, becoming more and more like a ghost. My reflection began to look better than me, healthier. His eyes were brighter, his posture more confident. While I was gaunt and sleep-deprived, he looked rested, energetic. He was siphoning the life right out of me. The final night came with a terrifying stillness. There were no strange noises, no flickers in my peripheral vision. The house was silent. Too silent. Driven by a dreadful premonition, I crept back to the bathroom. I had to know with a deep breath. I peered at the mirror. It was empty. My reflection was gone. A cold dread washed over me, so absolute it felt like drowning. I stumbled back, my mind screaming. Where did he go? The answer came a moment later, in the form of a soft knock on the bathroom door. Honey, are you okay in there? It was Sarah's voice. You've been in there for ages. My throat was dry. I couldn't speak. I heard the doorknob turn. The door opened, and Sarah stood there, a worried look on her face. But her eyes weren't looking at me. They were looking just past me, at something behind me. There you are, she said, her expression softening into a loving smile. I was getting worried. Are you ready to go? We're going to be late for dinner. I didn't understand. I turned around slowly, and I saw him. He was standing in my hallway, wearing my favorite jacket, holding my car keys. He looked solid, real. He smiled at Sarah, a warm, genuine smile that I hadn't been able to muster in weeks. Just be a minute, babe, he said, his voice a perfect imitation of my own. Then he looked at me. His eyes were cold, victorious. He gave a slight, almost imperceptible nod towards the mirror. I turned back to the mirror, and I saw myself, but not me. I saw my face pale and terrified, trapped behind the glass. I raised a hand, pressing it against the cold surface. On the other side, in my bathroom, the real me didn't move. I was the reflection now. He walked past me, putting his arm around Sarah. Let's go, he said, leading her out of the room. I banged on the glass, screaming, but no sound came out. They couldn't hear me. They couldn't see me. I watched them walk down the hall, watched him turn and give me one last triumphant smirk before they disappeared round the corner. I'm still here, trapped in this silvered world. I watch him live my life. I watch him laugh with my friends, kiss the woman I love. He's better at it than I ever was, and me, I'm just a phantom, a memory that flickers and fades. Sometimes, late at night, he comes to the mirror. He just stands there, looking at me, his prisoner. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have to. We both know he won. So, if you ever catch your reflection moving just a little too slowly, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Smash the mirror. Do whatever you have to do. Because once it starts, there's no going back. You'll just be another ghost in the glass. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more.